You know, every single day, our planet is fighting an invisible war. This isn't science fiction. It's a real battle, fought on a cosmic scale against this relentless enemy. And the prize? Well, it's everything that makes our world alive, our atmosphere. This is the story of how planets live, how they die, and the incredible hidden shield that keeps Earth on the winning side. So let's dive into the evidence. Our story starts, like any good mystery, with a detective at a crime scene. The scene is Mars. And our detective? It's a NASA spacecraft called MAVEN. Its whole mission was to figure out one of the biggest questions in our solar system. Why did a world that was once habitable, with air and water, lose it all? It was right there, piecing together the final clues. And then just silence. After it passed behind the planet on one last survey, MAVEN never called home again. It just vanished. Suddenly, the detective that was investigating a planetary death became a victim of the exact same mystery. And losing MAVEN, I mean, that's a huge blow. Because as the Planetary Society points out, it was giving us the definitive story of the Martian apocalypse. So what was it? What is this force that could kill an entire planet's atmosphere and maybe just silenced our best witness?
Okay, meet our prime suspect, the solar wind. Now, don't let the name fool you. This is not some gentle breeze. This is a relentless, high-speed blast of plasma, protons and electrons that our sun is just constantly spewing out in every direction. It's the invisible weapon in our cosmic crime story.
So this is basically the real-time rap sheet for this solar wind, using data from NOAA. And just look at that speed, 563 kilometers per second. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around how fast that is. And it carries its own magnetic field, which you can see measured here. Think of that magnetic field as a kind of cosmic crowbar, just prying away at anything that gets in its path. And every now and then, this weapon gets a massive, massive upgrade. This number, that's the category of a huge solar flare that was observed back in February of 2026. An X 8.3 class flare is, well, it's an eruption of energy that's almost unimaginable. It supercharges that solar wind, making it an even more destructive force. Which brings us right back to the crime scene. Before MAVEN went dark, it confirmed just how bad the damage was. Mars is missing 99% of the atmosphere it had billions of years ago, back when it was a world of lakes and rivers. So how exactly does the solar wind pull off a planetary-scale heist like this? Well, it's a multi-pronged attack, really. First, the sun's radiation zaps atoms high up in the atmosphere, giving them an electric charge. Then that magnetic field in the solar wind, our cosmic crowbar, it latches onto these newly charged particles and just yanks them away into space. Gone forever. On top of that, other particles slam into the atmosphere, physically knocking atoms out. Kind of like a sandblaster stripping paint. This is literally how a world bleeds its atmosphere out into the void. So this leads to the big question, right? We get hit by the same solar wind. We get blasted by the same solar flares. So why is our atmosphere still here? What is Earth's secret weapon? The answer starts right here. And this isn't some artist's drawing. This is a real ultraviolet image of Earth. It's showing our geocorona, this massive invisible halo of hydrogen gas. This is the very edge of our atmosphere, and the only reason it's still there is because it's being held in place by an incredible planetary defense shield. And that shield? It's generated deep, deep within our planet. It's called the geodynamo. Think of it like a giant engine. It's a vast ocean of molten iron and nickel thousands of kilometers below us. And it's churning and swirling around. All that motion, combined with the Earth's spin, generates a powerful magnetic field that wraps around the entire globe. And this right here, this is the tale of two planets. It's the difference between a living world and a dead one. Earth's core is alive, it's molten and churning, and it gives us our shield. Mars's core? It cooled down, solidified, and basically died billions of years ago. And when it died, its shield vanished. That's when the solar wind moved in for the kill. It turns out the fate of an entire world is decided by its heart. You know, this shield does way more than just hold on to our air. As this research from ET of Zurich confirms, it's what made complex life itself possible. It fends off all this deadly cosmic radiation. Our planet's invisible armor isn't just a shield. It's pretty much the reason any of us are here to talk about it. But here's the twist in the story. Our shield,
it isn't perfect. It's a dynamic thing, it's always shifting, and in one particular area, it's getting alarmingly weak.
So let's look at the evidence from ESA's swarm satellites. This spot is called the South Atlantic Anomaly. It's this huge region stretching from South America to Africa where the magnetic field has taken a nosedive. I mean, just look at the intensity there compared to Canada or Siberia. It's less than half. In this area, those charged particles can dip way closer to the surface, and that can mess with our satellites and other technology.
In realizing all this is completely changing how we search for life out there in the universe, it suggests that maybe the most important thing for a habitable world isn't just being the right distance from its star, the habitable zone, but whether it has a magnetic shield. Astronomers are now actively looking for exoplanets that might have their own active cores. And get this, some super-Earths might have even stronger shields generated by whole oceans of magma, making them potentially super habitable.
Which, of course, brings us back home. The invisible war for our atmosphere has been won, day after day, for billions of years, all thanks to that amazing engine deep inside the Earth. But that engine is always changing, and its shield is constantly shifting, weakening in some places. So the final question isn't just about how other worlds die, but what this constant, invisible battle means for the future of our own.